what's going on? You're watching the Bitter Jury podcast. This is episode number 54. Woo! I'm almost at
54
all the
episodes.
fingers.
Yeah.
We just need one more. Next episode is going to be like all the fingers. It's going to be so exciting. But before we get to that, we have to talk about this episode. This episode was really just a lot of fluff. Part of it was adorable. Part of it was like, wow, there really wasn't too much going on. And so we're hearing about how Angela can smell things.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we need to introduce ourselves. My name is Kelly.
And I'm Jacob. At least I think I am.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Cool. That's what I've been calling myself. So yeah, I mean, this episode is all of the things that I both love and hate about Big Brother, all wrapped up into one episode. It had more that I loved than that I hated, but it definitely tried my patience at some points. Like I could have done without the Angela super sense of smell, but we'll talk about it because it was in the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get immediately into Casey being HOH and Casey getting an HOH basket, which I knew, feeds aside, was going to be very, very special because we don't get a lot of. Do you want to see my HOH rooms this season? So
yeah, seriously. They even played the music.
Mm-hmm, we got the music.
Like, because we have seen in the past, like this season, we've seen I feel like we've seen at least one HOH room reveal,
right?
And they did not play the music. It's sticking out to me that they didn't. Say that again?
I think it was Sam's and the reason why they wouldn't play the music on Sam's HOH was because she had that super strict, don't come in my room or I'll stab you.
Oh, that's right.
To herself. So I feel like it would be kind of be jarring to go from the happy, you guys want to see my HOH room, to, hey, don't come in my room unless you have to poop or I'm going to stab you. But yeah, it's good to see jovial tune back for Casey's HOH.
Yeah,
it was nice.
A nice throwback.
It was very nice, and also what was very nice is that we got a letter with some substance. We got Casey's brother asking, I should say, that she be the best woman at his wedding, which is super fun.
Yeah, it was just sweet.
Yeah, it was super sweet. If you've been watching the feeds at all, you know that Casey is super close to her brother, and her brother idolizes her, and so it was really cool that they found the time to put that into an episode because this season really needed some more light moments. I feel like we've had to deal with some pretty dense subject matter on the season, so it's really nice to have a really light moment. And this episode was chock full of them.
Yeah. You know what was nicest about this episode?
What?
The fact that, because they'll do clip episodes, and that's kind of what this episode was, except you didn't have the really corny, obviously scripted lines that happened during the clip episodes. Every season, I skip those clip episodes because I'm like, okay, there's nothing that's going to happen. But this one, I figured that, I had forgotten up until when the episode was like, oh, this is what you're going to see. I had forgotten the whole Nicole and Victor thing. We were going to see that. But, I go on thinking it's going to be a regular episode. And we see, barely any strategy, but it was still enough to where they didn't have to fall back onto the scripted clips.
Yeah.
Type crap.
I feel like the scripted clips are Big Brother's weakest point when we have those stupid let's look back at the season episode before the meat of the finale, and I'm glad that this episode didn't turn into that.
BB Can does it so much better.
They do a lot of things so much better. Take a hint, BBUS.
Yeah.
Except for leave the triple eviction out of my big
please. Yeah. But the BB Can awards, those by far infinitely better than any clips episodes I've ever seen on BBUS.
For sure. We we see Sam go up into the HOH room to have a very tentative talk with the HOH Casey. This was one of my favorite moments of all of the episodes because I love awkward, and I love when other people feel awkward. And Casey felt the awkward because Sam was just like, "Hey, I don't know what to say here. I know you're probably gonna put me up, but like you shouldn't because I want you to keep me." And Casey, we could get a diary session of her just like, "How do I handle Sam? Guys, help me! Like, how do I tell her she needs to go up on the block without her
Mhm.
going absolutely crazy on me? How do I make that happen?" And you see her handle Sam with the most kitty of kid gloves I think I've ever seen on Big Brother. She was talking to Sam like she was a 4-year old, and Sam seemed receptive to it in the room and then mad, but also understanding in the diary room. She was mad
Yep.
that she was being condescended to, but also understands that she's crazy a little bit. And
Yeah.
which is
That was
nice to
pretty sweet.
that was awesome to see. She's like, I'm not known for going off on people, am I? Like with like a knowing wink.
Really?
I
Like,
really,
am I?
yeah, I love that
Hmm.
from Sam because, I mean, if you've been watching the feeds at all, Kelly, she's been losing the plot this week. She's been back to crazy Sam a little bit. She's not handling herself very well. I feel
Oh,
really bad for
Sam.
her, but um,
I will say my favorite Sam moment from the episode came a little bit later on, like at the very end, like the
oh
very
yes,
last thing, which
yeah, we'll get to
well,
that.
yeah,
We'll
because
get to that because that was
I laughed
incredible.
so hard.
Yeah, she wow. Um, yeah, we'll get to that. But on the other end of things, on the other end of pointless conversations, we have
Haley,
Haley going up to the HOH room and being like, "Hey, yo, I got you. You
probably
know I
about
got you.
700 times.
Yeah, I counted 10. 10 total throughout the episode. But it was
I'm rounding
insane.
up to the nearest
Yeah,
700.
that seems fair.
Mhm.
But like, okay, again, I feel like there's a way you can talk yourself off the block. I always feel like there's a way you can talk yourself off the block, even if you're making stuff up. Like, this season is so divided into team play that people are just giving up. And I feel like
Well, think about Haley's position.
it's really bad and it's her fault. But like,
Yeah, it's her fault, but like this is the third week in a row now where honestly, like if you think about it, even though like she's had power, like this is really the fifth week in a row that someone from her side has gone home or is going to be going home.
yeah,
And that includes her potentially. So like after a while, it's just like it's kind of just like yeah, you're right. She is giving up, but it's been 5 weeks of this, of her fighting and failing at it. And so
right,
I get kind of just being complacent with it and being like, okay, there's really nothing that I can do at this point. Like, it's if I don't win the veto, I'm going home. She shouldn't
right.
have done that, but like, I get where she's coming from.
Oh yeah, I get it from a human level, but again, I'm only part human, and I feel like there's um, there's enough that you can like. Okay,
What would you have Haley do then? If you're
Haley.
Haley,
Okay, if I'm Haley, I hate my position, but here's what I do: I make Casey very, very, very comfortable with me. Number one, she did a good job of that. Part one is done. Part one is accomplished.
okay.
Um, part two is like prey on Casey's insecurities. What are they? She seems like a pretty secure person. I don't know. How about that cuddling time that Tyler is spending with the new BFF Angela? I would say, hey, look, that's really, really bad for your end game. I don't even care if I have to go home this week. That's fine, but I'm looking out for you, sis. Like, you cannot let Angela advance in this game if you want to go to the end with Tyler. Because, like, everybody, he knows now because Scotty was in the house that everybody hates Angela. Angela needs to go. I don't need to go. I'm going to go next week or, You can get me out
Yeah,
anytime.
that's the strongest argument, but I would probably give that
Thank you.
argument like I genuinely would probably give that argument like a 3 out of 10
Right.
because there's so many stronger arguments that can go against, like so many counter arguments that can go against it. Like for
Sure.
one, if you go like Haley, you automatically have 4 votes in the jury, and
Sure.
someone could easily flip like, hey, it's flip to keep you. Secondly, yeah, you're right. Like I should be worried about Tyler and Angela, but now is not the time yet because I'm a pretty strong comp piece. Like those two right off the top of my head, like
Yeah.
but like you're trying to make the best out of a bad situation, Jacob.
Oh,
And
for sure.
I definitely applaud you for like finding some kind of argument. I
Yeah.
just still
Yeah.
I think that Haley's up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah. I mean, and part of that for me is just like the boredom of like, okay, like there's so much time that is spent in this house, and it has been spent in this house, laying down the last couple of weeks by everybody. Um, everybody's seemingly sort of accepting of their position in the house, and it's driving me
Accepting that
insane.
it's Tyler's game and
Yeah,
L6's
like even
game.
JC is just like, hey, I'm not gonna even get up to do fun things because Tyler's not my best friend anymore, and it makes me sad. Um,
We do have a
and
comment, Jacob.
sure, yeah,
Jay Real is saying big facts. She should have stirred the pot.
yeah. She totally could have. Also, let's talk about JC for a second. You could totally paint a target on JC. You could totally
Yeah.
be like, hey, I don't like how he's being gross. Or hey, I don't like how anytime anybody's having a game conversation, JC has to be right there. Let's team up to get him out. He's really annoying. Let's do that. Let's send him back home to Fessy. Like, so him and Fessy can have their bromance in the jury house. And then you
Mm-hmm.
can, like, if I'm hearing it, you can piggyback off of that, being like, aren't they the perfect couple? You can play into the fact that you and Fessy aren't actually all that close. You can make Casey feels super comfortable having like the girlfriend in the house, and it could work. I'm not saying it's going to work
Uh,
100%, but I'm saying you could also switch the nomination at least initially to JC.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I still don't see that working. I like it's Haley grasping at straws. It's really her only play,
Right.
and
Yeah.
to target to switch the target over to someone else. But
You have two potential options.
speaking on deaf ears, or it's
Yeah.
falling on deaf ears, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and again, I just think that this I'm gonna play for Tyler game is getting a really dull.
Oh,
To the point where I really hope he goes home on the double.
no,
I really
no.
um
JC all the way. I want to see JC out of there.
but that's so much less fun. Like that is so much less fun. JC is absolutely 100% more unpredictable than Tyler and Angela making out. Like it's just I can't handle it. I can't do it.
Oh man.
I can't. But you know, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
First, we have to be very happy. I mean, this made my heart warm, and I don't have much of one, so you know it was a really schmaltzy segment here because you know it warmed my heart about 2 degrees, and you know it was nice. It was
What are
nice.
you, the Grinch? By the end of the season, is your heart gonna grow 3 times larger that day?
Only if
Casey
Casey wins.
wins?
If only if Casey wins. If Tyler wins, I give up on ever getting what
Are
I
you
want from
kidding?
Big Brother.
Are you
Um,
kidding? You
I
got Kevin.
I mean Kevin won. That was fantastic. I shout out to Kevin. Love you. Tyler would not be my ideal winner at this point. I would be very sad if Tyler won the game.
Why? Okay, please explain this to me. Why would you be sad if Tyler won the game?
Because it shows that once you have things in control, you can take a nap, and I don't want to see that happen in future seasons. I would much rather reward Casey with a win because she's done things in the right order. She's taking a nap for the first 4 or 5 weeks. She's turned on and become a comp beast, and yeah, she deserves to win if she continues on this trajectory.
Jay doesn't agree with you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Jay
let's
says,
hear it.
"Really, Jacob? Really,
Yeah,
Jacob?"
really. Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, like,
Jay, I'm siding with you.
look, Tyler can win. It's fine, but it's a snooze fest. It's not. It's not good for the future of Big Brother. I promise you, it's not.
So I guess like because if we didn't have last season, I'd be like, Jacob, come on. Like people would watch this season and they realize like that's what you want to look out for. Just like how this season, like people are looking out for like the Paul type bullying
Yeah,
type figure.
for sure.
So maybe even though like you did have people who like gave up their game for Paul's game, like that was a kind of a different scenario. So maybe like if Tyler ends up being the winner, like that's what people would pull like draw from that. Like don't let someone don't just like play for someone else's game. Make sure that the moves that you're making are for your own game. So maybe it would be a lesson. Just like I want him to win, okay, Jacob?
I mean, I get that you drafted him, and I love Tyler. I love Tyler as a super fan, as a person. I think he's great. All of that aside, I don't think he's a great Big Brother champion going into next season when we might not have a next season. But
Well,
but
we'll
talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, Tyler. I mean, I'm fine with Tyler. Tyler can win, but like I would much rather have Casey win than Tyler. And it's not because I drafted her. I think she's a much better.
No, I agree with you. Like Casey has been killing it. Like she's made the social connections that she's needed to lay the groundwork.
Right.
She laid low. And then she started winning comps. Mm-hmm. And she's done like a really good job, and like she's continuing to win comps. But that probably is her only downfall. Like, because if I'm Tyler, for example, or really anyone else, I should be like looking at Casey and being like, holy crap, like this is a really bad idea for me to keep her.
100%. Well, I agree with you. Let's keep that on the board though for later on, because we have to talk about what warmed my heart.
Okay.
We have to talk about Nicole and
Victor.
Yeah, Nicole and Victor. By the way, greatest surprise ever in the history of Big Brother. Like, she's there to host like a luxury comp. And then she is bamboozled by Victor's pretty face on the big, like on the screen, telling her how amazing she is. And man, his exposition there was captivating. It really made me buy into the love story that is Nicole and name again.
Victor.
I just think of long flowing locks.
I know, Fabio or Jon Snow, right?
Right. I was a little bit disappointed that he cut his hair though, but she was impressed. She was impressed that he cut his hair for the moment.
He looks like so good. He looks good either way, honestly. Like he's just
was that a Nicole impression that you just
No,
did?
it wasn't. That was
me. Pretty close to Nicole right there. He looks so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cute. It was great. But like halfway through the video, she knew what was going on. Like there's but it was cute, and it was amazing to see the people that brought in the cake. I loved 80% of those people that were part of bringing in the cake and celebrating.
Danielle, Brittany.
Wait, is it 80 or is it 90? How many people were in there?
Danielle, Brittany, Derek, Josh, Paul.
Was there a sixth? Yeah. So 80% is correct. I love 80% of those people.
You didn't like Josh.
Okay. So here's my Josh story. Okay, I was upset when Josh won. Okay, that's part one. In the
You were that's right. I was gonna say you were upset, but we've already had this conversation.
Yep. I was upset that Josh won. I don't want to rehash why. But over the course of not seeing Josh and Paul, in the interim, seeing what happened in BBCAN 6, and up until BB20, up to this point, I I forgot why I didn't like Josh. And I was like, oh, you know what? He was a pretty good, deserving winner. And then I see him tonight, and I'm like, this freaking meatball. I hate this guy with a passion. Like, like he is everything that isn't me, and everything that I don't respect in a Big Brother winner. Like he won by default because Paul was a mean person. Um,
You made the
which
smart move to take him, though.
yes, absolutely, I give him
I
100%.
thought that was going to be his downfall, but no, that was
Yeah.
really smart.
He couldn't have known that he had Cody though. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes that whole thing kind of weird. But yeah. Anyway, so it was good to see most of the people. I thought Josh's I'm gonna crash the wedding thing was a little bit creepy and weird.
I just thought, I mean, like, I
It's
get
lovable
it.
and I get his shtick, but it's just like I'm not into it. So
Yeah, I do, like, there is a little comment that he made where it's like, I'm pretty sure it was him who asked, like, when's your wedding?
right.
And it's just like they just got engaged. And like it brought me back to when Sean proposed to me. And like the next day, like I go in to my work and um, my boss is like, okay, so am I invited to the wedding? And it's just like, dude, I just got engaged yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, just give me a second to figure everything out. And like he was, but like just like that comment, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way because it's so like people get very focused on people make such a big huge deal out of weddings. That's a whole other conversation,
Yeah,
which we don't have to have. But
Yeah.
that little comment, it rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. But I will say they are really forcing Derek. I mean, I love Derek, but they're forcing Derek on us, aren't they?
Oh, they
A little
so
bit.
are.
Like, okay, so if
That
we
was a
get to see,
weird
yeah,
voice.
it was. Let's let it slide. You know,
Jay agrees with us that they're forcing Derek on us.
I think, guys, I think if we have a season 21, we might have an All Stars versus new people haven't have the BB Can 5 situation. Um, because listen, they brought people back like Danielle Donato. If
The only reason why I can imagine her coming back, besides like what you're saying, is the fact that she's married to another BB, like she's married
right,
to someone
and she
that was on
had
her
a
season.
yeah, she had her snarky comment in the diary room, which I loved, by the way. It was classic
Yeah.
Danielle. Man, he didn't even do this for me. Like, that's who Danielle is, and like the whole man. Now I'm the granny in the house, which whatever. You're like 26 or something now.
No, she's not. She's in her 30s.
Is she really?
She was 20 when she was on BB-8.
Okay.
We're on BB-20, so that's like 12 years later.
Okay.
So she's like 32.
Okay.
Like,
Well, yeah, but I don't. Anyway, you look great for 32, Danielle. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna see returnees come back for Big Brother 21. It's the 21st season. Big Brother is becoming a full-fledged adult. I think we're gonna see more alcohol, more debauchery, and I just think that that's probably if we're gonna see Big Brother uh, try to swing for the fences. I think that's how they're gonna have to try to do it.
I disagree.
Okay.
Just because we've seen like they brought back so many returnees lately, and it hasn't been like the best season.
Right.
So, but like this most recent season has been absolutely amazing. It's got amazing ratings. Like it's beating all of its competitors on every day.
Right.
So I would see them doing like another one, kind of like because BB16 wasn't BB16 all new cast.
It was all returnees. Yeah.
No, but all new cast.
Or all new cast is what I'm gonna say. Yes.
And then BB17 was also an all new cast.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then you had like a returnee season. So I could see it being all new cast again. I genuinely don't see anything like that is all-star specific until BB 25. Because that's a 25 is a very very special number.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's been 25 years. It's a quarter of a century.
Right.
Or what else? So go ahead.
Here's my concern about waiting until 25. People get old quickly. Like they age quickly. That's not a I don't think you're gonna wait 4 years and still have a Dan wanting to come back.
Dan's not gonna come back. No, I mean Dana said that he's not gonna come back.
Okay.
And Derek has said, which I'm really hoping that he's gonna stick to this. Derek has said that he'll only come back if Dan and Will come back. And Dan and Will, because man, he's so annoying. Whatever. But Dan and Will have Derek. Like he said, him saying, "Oh, I'm not going to come back unless Dan and Will come back," and that's just him. Like Dan and Will have already said that they're not going to come back. Like, so I don't see Derek coming back. If anyone, oh man, I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. But yeah,
I mean, I could see every single person that was featured in that room coming back. Paul lives for the game. Like Paul, as much as he wants to say he's
plays
about
a
to be
great second place game.
like he's gonna he does. I want to see it happen for the third time, honestly. I not for next year. I'm hoping you're correct, but I have a strong feeling that there's a reason why we're seeing so many people from the past coming and haunting the BB studio. But I would love to be proven wrong.
Because I don't see Brittany coming back. I see her doing little stunts, maybe hosting a comp, but she's a mom now.
Yeah, right. But she still looked great in that diary room giving a confessional.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. She's one of my favorites.
Right.
But I don't see it. It kind of seems like she's done with competing with BB because it's so long. Her having to give up almost over 3 months of her life, potentially. She would have to be paid a lot more. Yeah. And that's another reason why I don't see it's gonna be why we're probably not gonna be seeing, if we'll be seeing an All Stars, which I don't think will be happening. Probably more likely half All Stars. The stipend is a much larger issue.
Right. I do want to stop really quickly and just say hello to Tiffany. She said hi in the chat. I know we gave her a text hi, but I want to say hi to Tiffany. Thank you for watching the podcast. We love you. We love everybody who's watching. And yeah, we need to get back to anything else you want to touch on the returning players before we jump off.
I just thought that it was really freaking adorable. The whole thing was really, really great. And I'm really the proposal was awesome, and seeing Nicole and Victor was awesome. I'm really happy about it.
Paul's haircut was really nice. I liked how he proposed
Paul's
to
haircut
John.
looks good.
Hey,
I did not like his haircut. It looked like he, at least from one side.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul. I'm talking about Paul, not Victor.
Paul, listen.
Victor's look good.
Listen, Paul. Okay. Listen, I know shots were just fired at your haircut, but we would love to have you on the podcast. All right. Hashtag love Paul forever. Hashtag friendship. Anyway.
Did you hear that there was a little comment that Brett made to Sam in the episode. And I don't know if this was an intentional dig at Paul with this whole friendship thing, but he said something about how the word friendship was thrown around too much. And it made me think of Paul and last season. I don't know.
That's very astute. You reminded me that I do want to jump on the fact that Brett gave some major truth out tonight. He said the major struggle about having all of those people in the house is that he wants to know if he's as big of an idiot as he could potentially be, or if he's as awesome as he thinks he is. And I feel like if I was in the house, that's all I would be thinking about is, man, I want to ask these people this question, but I know that's strictly against the rules. But I don't think I could help myself with all those people in that house.
That made me laugh super hard.
Brett, man, I want Brett to be in the end so badly because I just want that speech. I want all of the pomp and the circumstance, because he really is the Hulk Hogan of the season. Let's be honest. He's fantastic. He's the reason we tune in. He's everything.
He's one of
Really.
the reasons.
Um, he's a strong reason why I still love this season. But yeah, let's move on
To
past
the end of
Brett
the episode.
and get to the nomination ceremony. And man, this is a sleeper a little bit. Like this is we know what's gonna happen. Like there's no reason anything else should happen. So we see Sam go up on the block
With
with
Haley.
Fessy Fessy's better half. And man,
I'd say
it's
Fessy's only half.
ha 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 ha. ha.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna last till Halloween. But anyway, we uh we see them go up on the block, and we see some amazing uh reactions to that. Did you have something you wanted to say before?
Yeah, I mean, like, just Sam's reaction was probably. I mean, Jay's saying that it was a snooze fest, which
Yeah,
it was until we saw Sam's DR reaction.
Sam. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Can you do a Sam
Yeah,
impersonation?
I mean, I
Okay.
can't really do a Sam impersonation. Like, her message was, I better not be looking like a dumbass, otherwise I'm gonna tear these mother effing
Doors.
doors off of their hinges as I'm leaving this mother effing house.
Yes.
And it was amazing. I was laughing so hard, and Sean had walked out of the room, and I was just like, Sean, did you just hear what Sam said? It was spectacular. And that's like, it made me think of Sam on her first night in the house when she was talking about how she was sweating more than a nun in a cucumber patch.
Yes.
Oh, she was
I,
wonderful.
I miss Quaint Sam. This is not Quaint Sam. Sam is really struggling. I mean, I loved the edited version of this, but Sam is really struggling. She got in trouble a couple of days ago as they were waking up. She got in trouble for humming. She was not handling
Really,
it
they're
well.
gonna get Sam in trouble for humming when JC sings
Oh,
whenever he wants.
he gets yelled at every single time. Um, but
But there's no repercussion for
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure. They just switched the camera, but Sam was like, "Can you please stop telling me what to do?" Like, and they're like, "Sam, humming is the same as singing. Please stop singing." And she's not having a good time. But you know what? She's being a trooper. She's hanging in there. She hasn't stomped any mud holes. She hasn't done any curb stomping. She hasn't done anything unsavory. I'm hoping that nothing happens. She can't get blacklisted from CBS like Scotty did.
Scotty super did.
Um, so like I mean, she's gonna if she does get blacklisted from CBS going out, it's gonna be it's gonna be in the wash
Amazing.
because she wasn't coming back in any CBS production anyway. Um, but yeah, it's man, Sam is not doing well. I'm really hoping uh the best for Sam, but she's not.
Yeah.
Um,
Dawabai one is saying Sam needs to leave with Haley.
mm, with
Mhm.
Haley, so like
Yeah.
the sort of situation where she like says, "Okay, I'm done. We're gonna walk out of here like a showman's," or in the double. Are you talking about in the double? You want her to leave? Maybe. I feel like that would be
Not
a
sure
waste
yet.
of a double.
I'm thinking that it's more just like wishful thinking.
Yeah,
Like when Haley leaves, Sam just automatically leaves too.
yeah.
Because yeah, that would be a waste of a double.
That would be a real waste of a double. We do need to talk about the double really quickly.
Oh, he's saying during the double.
Oh, during the double, that would be a bad double eviction in my opinion. I think like you need to take a shot, even if you're in level 6, at somebody that is threatening your chance to get to the end. Sam
Yeah.
is not that person for anyone. Um, and yeah, I mean, Sam and Sam does amazing things. She baked a pie for everybody a couple nights ago. She's still very well liked. People just want to know how to handle it because you have to handle it very carefully. I think that there is. I understand the sentiment because in the edited episodes she's a snooze fest, but you know what? People love her, and that's why she's going to be double proof. I think. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's much more likely we see JC or
I'd
Angela
love it
going.
if people went after Casey and not be like,
Yeah,
because she's such a strong person.
right,
Like this would be the opportune moment to go against her if she doesn't win. But
right.
knowing what kind of comp it's most likely going to be, she probably will win veto
What do you
or
what do you,
HOH.
what do you think the veto comp is going to be in this
It's
situation?
going to be some kind of it. You know what? I'm going to speculate it's going to be one of the puzzle maze
Right.
comps.
Okay. Yeah,
Where
that's popular.
that's a pretty typical one. Um, So yeah, Casey's pretty quick with her hands, as we saw from that one slow-mo veto comp.
Yeah, Casey's got good hands. She's a wide receiver. She knows what to do with
She
those
knows
hands.
exactly what to do with her
Yep,
hands.
she does. Absolutely. Um, so yeah, I mean, let's I mean, I just think the best feeds double. Now, comment section. Feel free to let me know how big of an idiot I am. But the best double eviction scenario for me is either seeing Tyler or Angela go in the double eviction. Now
It's gonna be Angela.
I
Angela.
yep. I know Tyler is loved. I love Tyler. You all love Tyler, but I'm tired of Tyler. I'm tired of it. Like, cause he's gonna get pulled at the end. And that's my fear. And I just don't want to see it. So let's get rid of him before it can happen. Let's hand Brett $500,000 and or Casey $500,000 and call it a day. Um,
Oh man. I would probably say it'd be Angela, just like if JC has any sort of say in it. I know that JC wants to go after Angela.
yeah, JC thinks he has all the say in the world, but like he can't win a comp, so he needs to shut his mouth. Like, um, one of the things I loved, was it this? I think it was in this episode, where we, or maybe it was in the eviction episode. I don't remember, but it was Tyler, or maybe it was feeds. But okay, small feed spoiler alert. Um, JC has a conversation with Tyler. And he's like talking about Angela again, and Tyler snaps. He's like, "Listen, JC, if you don't trust me, just say you don't trust me." Was this in an episode or no?
No, it wasn't.
Um, and that shot JC up very quickly, but Tyler's at the end of his rope with JC, so I think we're more than likely going to see a JC going in the double, but makes me sad.
So Dobby is making a pretty interesting case that Sam is most likely to win if
I
she's
would
in
agree.
the final two.
Yep.
Tyler can't win the game, nor can Angela, which I would say Angela definitely can't. I would disagree about Tyler. Sam is most likely to get the high 5 vote. She is going to win if she's in the final two.
Yeah.
I would actually disagree with that because when it comes down to it, I don't think that Scotty would truly be willing to vote with the 5 if it's Sam versus like Brett.
Right.
I don't see him voting for Brett. Or sorry, I see him voting for Brett.
Right.
I would see him voting for Tyler. I know that he's been a little burned by Tyler, that he was a little salty from Tyler, but I think when it comes down to it, once he's finally calmed down and realized what's going on, I think that it would be okay. And also, just I'm hoping from a super fan perspective, Scotty realizes that giving Sam the 500,000 from someone who has been begging to go home week after week after week and been crying and like going crazy in the house over someone who has been playing the game, I honestly don't see him being able to go through with that.
Right.
I think that this concept that the Hive is going to be voting as a group of 5 is not actually going to be the case.
I hope so.
You hope that it is, or you hope that
I hope
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying
I
is
hope
accurate.
you're right. I hope you're right, but here's the thing. I know that Scotty gave a scathing interview post eviction where he was like, "Yeah, I freaking hate Tyler. Like, I can't stand Tyler. I don't want anything to do with him. His game is blah 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 blah." So I feel like we're gonna see a very high likelihood that Tyler has lost Scotty's vote. But I think maybe he can gain that back if Angela is sent to the jury house, which is what Jay is sort of saying. He says, Angela, for sure, please. She's messing up Tyler's game. I feel like Tyler's messing up Tyler's game, but it's
Yeah.
because of Angela. I'm not going to blame Tyler or blame Angela for Tyler messing up Tyler's game. But I think that if, as soon as Angela's out the door, we see Tyler kick it into overdrive, and then, in my opinion, he deserves to win again. He doesn't deserve to win if he continues to cuddle with Angela, the fitness model, the entire season.
Yep.
But
So
yeah,
we need to wrap this up just a little bit. So was
for
there
sure.
anything else that we should be touching on?
Just really quickly, I've found that we're in sort of a lull. With maybe it's just the power of level 6, but there's a little bit of a lull in the excitement of this season. And I just wanted your quick sort of take on this. What would
Mhm.
happen if we said, okay, there's too much filler in the Big Brother season. Like, let's cut it back to the days of like 70, 80 day Big Brother, and let's rejuvenate the show a little bit. We're 20 seasons in. We need to do something to change up the format. We need new comps. We need to shorten the time that people are in the house. We need an extra double. We need something because we've seen people lay in bed for like 15 days straight, and it's driving me crazy.
Mm-hmm. I definitely like. Would we still have 16 people, or would the number of people go down too?
I don't know. I mean, if we need to decrease the number of people and cast the right people, then do that as well. I mean, that's a good idea.
I definitely really like that idea of shortening it because excuse me, because like one of the reasons why we get the same kind of people over and over is because the season has gone longer and longer and longer and longer. So you don't have people that can drop everything for, okay, let's say 99 days in the house this season, but then you have 2 weeks pre-show.
Yep.
So that's, or a week, no, like about a week or 2 weeks pre-show. It's 7 to 14 days. Plus you have like 4 or 5 days or 2 or 3 days after the show is over of doing, let's say that you're the winner.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Of doing like post-show crap. Right. So like that's a really long time. You're going on 4 months at this point of having to drop your life to be able to do this show. And so you're not going to get the quality people that like we used to get.
Right.
So I would definitely say like that's a good idea. Also, I kind of, even though it's kind of frustrating to see like it go down to a smaller number, I like how I have a feeling that it's going to be nicer this season because the double eviction is so much later this season. So like speeding up the end game process that way.
Right.
So I like your idea, Jacob, what you're saying of shortening it.
Yeah, and just quickly on your point of the timing required, you're also, let's not forget the amount of prep that is required going into the Big Brother house before you're even in sequester. You sort of need to get everything in your life handled before you can even go into sequester.
Yeah, there's a week that you have to do for finals.
Right.
Like it's just there's so much that goes into it.
Right.
So yeah, like having it shorter, that would be a huge plus.
Yeah, for sure, because it's going to be October by the time people are fully done with Big Brother 20. Mm-hmm. If assuming that they win. So yeah, I mean, I'm just throwing out an idea here. We're in for some changes. I feel like in the next season of Big Brother. I feel like the production is really, really frustrated with how some of the elements played out this season, and hopefully the changes are for the better. And I hope it sort of returns to expecting the unexpected next season, because it's gotten a little stale at this point. Because this season was a 10, now it's a 7 in my book. And
that's just because we don't have like the divide that I mean, like we do have the divide, but there's a clear like side that has power. I think it'll go back up against once level 6 has to start eating themselves, which is probably going to be not probably. It will be right after the double. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to start up. So the only reason why this season seems like it's going on a lull is because they wanted to do this double eviction.
Right.
And so we had to have the jury battle back.
Don't ever do that again, production. Love you, but don't
So
ever do
yeah, so if we hadn't had that and we had stuck to the double, basically whatever the outcome is from the double, that's where we would be at right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of things running long, I know this podcast has run pretty long. We've had a really good time. Thank you for everybody in chat. You guys are amazing. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been giving us a lot to talk about in that comment section. Feel free to leave comments down below as well.
Dawabi and Jay, you guys are awesome. You too,
guys are
Tiffany.
fantastic. Tiffany, you're great. Everybody, you're fantastic. And if you want to be notified every time we go live, when you hit that subscribe button, also hit that little bell so that you get a push notification every time our stupid faces go live and you don't miss anything we have to say about Big Brother.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys on Thursday after the double. It's going to be zoppity.
It's going to be fantastic. Bye.
Bye.